Captain Jiho Park stood perfectly still as he looked at the small blue planet on the large screen. His ship, the Celestial Voyager, drifted slowly through space. They had not planned to visit this star system. An ion storm had damaged their ship, forcing them to find a place to make repairs. "Captain, we have a problem," said Commander Mina Kim. She walked to his side with a data tablet in her hand. Her face was serious. Jiho turned to look at her. "How bad is it, Commander?" "Very bad, sir. The main engines are dead. Backup systems are working, but only at 43% power. Life support is stable, but we cannot fix the ship with what we have." Jiho nodded slowly. This was worse than he had thought. Their mission was supposed to be a simple survey of uninhabited planets. Now they were stuck near a world that might have people living on it. "Can we repair the ship ourselves?" he asked, although he already knew the answer. Mina shook her head. "No, sir. We need new parts for the quantum stabilizer. Without it, we cannot leave this system." Jiho walked closer to the screen. The blue planet looked peaceful. Their star, charts listed it as potentially inhabited pre-FTL civilization. This meant the people here had not yet learned to travel faster than light. According to their rules, they should avoid all contact with such worlds. "Captain," called Tai Yang from his science station, "I am picking up strange energy readings from the third planet." Jiho walked over to look at Tai Yang's screen. "What kind of readings?" "Energy patterns that suggest advanced technology. Much more advanced than our records show." Tai Yang looked up with concern in his eyes. "Sir, this civilization might be more developed than we thought." Jiho returned to his chair and sat down. Their people, the Seolian, had traveled the stars for over 300 years. In all that time, they had found only 6 other intelligent species. Most were either far more primitive or already extinct. They had strict rules about contacting developing worlds. But rules could be bent in emergencies. Without repairs, they would be stranded here forever. "How long can we stay in orbit without being detected?" Jiho asked. Tai Yang checked his readings. "Maybe 3 days if we power down all non-essential systems. Their scanning technology appears quite good." Jiho made his decision. "Commander Mina, prepare a small team. You will go down to the surface and learn about these people. See if they have the technology to help us." Mina looked surprised. "Sir, that's against protocol. The High Council—" "I know what the Council would say," Jiho cut her off. "But we have no choice. We need parts or we'll be stuck here forever. We just need to be careful not to interfere with their development." Mina nodded. "Yes, sir. Who should I take?" Jiho thought for a moment. "Take Medical Officer Dae Hyun. He can assess if the atmosphere is safe and study their biology. Also, take Communications Specialist Sun Mi. She can learn their language quickly." "When do we leave?" Mina asked. "As soon as possible. Use the small shuttle and land somewhere remote. Activate your appearance modifiers to look like the locals." Jiho stood up. "This is a reconnaissance mission only. Find out if they can help us, but do not reveal who we are unless absolutely necessary." 2 hours later, Mina, Dae Hyun, and Sunmi sat in the small shuttle as it descended through the planet's atmosphere. They had studied the world's electronic communications and adjusted their appearance modifiers to match the dominant species. "Their main language patterns have been loaded into our translators," Sunmi said as she checked her equipment. "We should be able to understand them and speak to them if needed." Dae Hyun looked at his medical scanner. "The atmosphere is safe for us. Their oxygen levels are slightly higher than ours, but nothing dangerous. Their gravity is also very similar." Mina nodded as she piloted the shuttle down through a bank of clouds. Below them, land appeared. They could see large cities, roads, and vast areas of blue water. "I found a landing spot," Mina said. "It's a forested area near a major city. We can hide the shuttle and walk to the city." The shuttle touched down softly in a clearing. Trees surrounded them, hiding them from view. The 3 Seolians sat quietly for a moment, each thinking about what they were about to do. "Remember," Mina said finally, "we are here to observe and gather information. Do not interact with the locals unless necessary. Keep your emergency beacons active at all times. They stepped out of the shuttle into the cool morning air. Birds sang in the trees around them. The sky above was blue, with white clouds drifting slowly. "It's beautiful," Sunmi said quietly. Dae-hyun was scanning a nearby plant. Their plant life is carbon-based, just like ours. Very similar cellular structure. Mina activated a small device that created a holographic disguise around the shuttle. Now it looked like a large rock. "The disguise will hold for 48 hours. We should return before then." They walked through the forest until they reached a road. Following it, they soon saw buildings in the distance. As they got closer, vehicles sped past them, making Dae-hyun jump in surprise. "Their ground transportation is primitive but effective," he noted. They reached the edge of the city and stopped to look around. Tall buildings rose into the sky. People walked quickly on the sidewalks, many looking at small devices in their hands. "These must be their communication devices," Sunmi said, watching closely. "Everyone seems to have one." Mina looked at a sign. Their translators converted the strange symbols into words they could understand. "This place is called Seoul," she said. They walked into the city, trying to blend in with the locals. Their appearance modifiers made them look human, but they had to be careful with their movements and behavior. "Look there." Dae-hyun pointed to a large building with many windows. "That looks like a research facility of some kind." They crossed the street and looked at another sign. "Seoul Institute of Technology," Mina read. "This might be useful." Inside, they found displays showing various inventions and discoveries. Sunmi stopped in front of one that showed a spacecraft. "Mina, look at this," she said quietly. Mina and Dae-hyun joined her. The display showed a sleek spacecraft unlike anything they had seen before. "Project Frontier," Mina read from the description. "The next step in human space exploration." Dae-hyun studied the technical details. "This design, it's remarkable. If these specifications are correct, this ship could travel near light speed." Mina looked at him in disbelief. "That's impossible. Our intelligence said they were at least a century away from such technology." "Well, our intelligence was wrong," Dae-hyun replied. "Look at the propulsion system design. It's completely different from ours, but the theory is sound." Sunmi was reading more of the display. "It says the project is led by Dr. Jin-Woo Han. He's a leading expert in theoretical physics and propulsion systems." Mina made her decision quickly. "We need to meet this Dr. Han. If his design works, he might be able to help us repair our ship. Maybe even improve it." "But what about non-interference?" Dae-hyun asked. Mina looked around at the busy halls of the institute, at the humans walking past with their advanced devices, at the spacecraft design that should have been beyond their capabilities. "I think we may have underestimated these people," she said. "Captain Jiho said to find help. I think we just did." As they left the institute to find Dr. Han, none of them realized that this chance encounter would change not just their mission, but the future of both their species forever. Mina, Dae-hyun, and Sunmi walked through the busy streets of Seoul. Their holographic disguises made them look like normal humans. No one gave them a second glance as they passed by. According to the information at the institute, Dr. Jin-Woo Han works at the Advanced Research Center on the other side of the city, Sunmi said, looking at the small device she had programmed to copy a human smartphone. Dae-hyun was watching the humans with great interest. "Their technology is far more advanced than our records suggested. Look at those screens." He pointed to a large display on the side of a building showing crystal-clear images. "And their medical science. I saw advertisements for treatments we still haven't mastered." Mina nodded but kept walking. "We need to focus on our mission. Find Dr. Han, see if he can help us with the parts we need, and then leave without causing trouble." They stopped at a street corner, waiting for the walking signal. A young human stood next to them, tapping on her small device. Sunmi watched carefully, trying to understand how it worked. "Their communication technology is quite remarkable," she whispered to Mina. "Simple but effective, and they all seem connected to a global information network." The signal changed, and they crossed the street with the crowd. In the distance, they could see a large glass building with a sign that read, Seoul Advanced Research Center. That must be it, Mina said. They approached the building and stopped at the entrance. How do we get inside? There appears to be security. Sunmi studied the entrance for a moment. The humans use identification cards. I noticed them at the Technology Institute. She pulled out her device. I think I can create something similar with this. A few minutes later, they walked through the front door with fake ID cards that Sunmi had programmed. The guard barely looked at them as they passed. Inside, they found a directory on a wall screen. Dr. Jin Woo Han, Theoretical Physics, Department Floor 12, Daehyun read. They took an elevator to the 12th floor. The doors opened to a long hallway with many doors. How do we find him? Daehyun asked. Just then, a door opened and a man walked out carrying a stack of papers. He dropped a few, and Mina quickly moved to help him pick them up. Thank you, the man said, adjusting his glasses. Mina noticed the name tag on his coat. Dr. Lee, Physics Department. Excuse me, she said politely. We're looking for Dr. Jin Woo Han. We have a meeting with him about the Frontier Project. Dr. Lee looked surprised. Oh, are you the international team he mentioned? He's in Lab 7 just down the hall on the right. He's been working all night as usual. Thank you, Mina said with a smile. They walked in the direction Dr. Lee had pointed. That was lucky, Sunmi whispered. They found Lab 7 and knocked on the door. After a moment, a tired voice called, "Come in." The room was large, filled with computers and strange equipment. Holographic displays showed complex equations floating in the air. At the center of it all sat a man with messy hair and tired eyes. He looked up as they entered. Dr. Jin Woo Han? Mina asked. Yes, he said, removing his glasses and rubbing his eyes. Can I help you? We hope so, Mina replied. We're interested in your work on the Frontier Project. Jin Woo frowned. The Frontier Project is classified. How do you know about it? We saw the display at the Institute, Daehyun said quickly. Very impressive work. Jin Woo put his glasses back on and looked at them more carefully. That display only shows the basic concept, not the actual design. Mina decided to take a risk. Dr. Han, your propulsion system design is unlike anything we've seen before. The way you're manipulating space-time to create a bubble around the ship rather than bending space in front of it is revolutionary. Jin Woo stood up slowly. Those details aren't on any public display. Who are you people? The three aliens exchanged glances. This was not going according to plan. We represent an independent research group, Mina said carefully. Jin Woo crossed his arms. No, you're not from any research group I know, and I know all the major players in this field. He paused, studying them. Your accents are strange. Your mannerisms too. What are you really doing here? Mina made a quick decision. Dr. Han, what we're about to tell you might sound impossible, but I ask that you listen with an open mind. Jin Woo raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. We're not from Earth, Mina said simply. Jin Woo stared at them for a long moment, then burst out laughing. Right, and I'm from Mars. He turned back to his desk. Please leave before I call security. Mina nodded to Sunmi, who pressed a button on her wrist device. Their holographic disguises flickered and disappeared, revealing their true forms. The Seolian looked mostly human, but their skin had a slight blue tint, and their eyes were larger with vertical pupils. Jin Woo turned back and froze, and the cup he was holding crashed to the floor. What? Who? My name is Commander Mina Kim of the Seolian survey vessel Celestial Voyager, Mina said calmly. These are my crew members, Medical Officer Daehyun and Communications Specialist, Sunmi. Jin Woo stared at them in shock. You're aliens, he whispered. We prefer the term visitors, Daehyun said with a small smile. Jin Woo sank back into his chair. This is impossible, yet here you are. He looked at them with wide eyes. Why are you here? Why come to me? Mina stepped forward. Our ship was damaged in an ion storm. We need to make repairs, but we lack the necessary parts. Our scans showed that your planet might have the technology we need. And then we found information about your frontier project, Sunmi added. Your propulsion system design, it's unlike anything we've seen before. Jinwoo shook his head in disbelief. Wait. You're saying that your species has mastered interstellar travel, but you're impressed by our propulsion design? Yes, Mina said. Your approach is different from ours, possibly better. Jinwoo stood up and walked around them, studying their features. This is incredible. Actual visitors from another star system. He stopped and looked at Mina. How can I help you? We need materials to repair our quantum stabilizer, Mina explained. Without it, we can't leave Earth orbit. Jinwoo thought for a moment. A quantum stabilizer? That sounds similar to a component we've developed for the Frontier project. It regulates the space-time bubble around the ship. Yes, Dae-hyun nodded excitedly. That's essentially what our stabilizer does, though the technology might be different. Jinwoo walked to a computer and began typing quickly. I need to see your designs. If they're compatible with what we've developed, I might be able to help you. Sunmi pulled out a small device and placed it on Jinwoo's desk. A holographic display appeared showing the schematics of their damaged component. Jinwoo studied it, carefully, his eyes growing wider. This is not that different from what we've created. The principles are the same, even if the materials are different. He looked up at them. I think I can help you. In exchange, Mina said, we'd be willing to share some of our knowledge, within limits, of course. Jinwoo smiled. I understand. Non-interference principles. Most of our science fiction got that right, at least. He stood up and grabbed his coat. We should go to my private lab. It's more secure, and I have prototype components there that might work for your repairs. As they followed Jinwoo out of the building, Mina felt a mix of relief and concern. They had found help, but they had also revealed themselves to a human. Captain Jiho would not be pleased. Still, she had a feeling that meeting Dr. Jinwoo Han might prove to be more important than any of them realized. What they didn't know was that this chance meeting would soon change the course of two civilizations forever. Dr. Jinwoo Han's private lab was in the basement of his home, a small house outside the main city. It was filled with equipment, computers, and strange-looking machines. The walls were covered with diagrams and equations. Please, come in, Jinwoo said, turning on the lights. No one will bother us here. Mina, Dae-hyun, and Sunmi looked around with interest. They had reactivated their human disguises for the trip to Jinwoo's home, but now they turned them off again. You have impressive equipment for a private lab, Dae-hyun noted, examining a device in the corner. Jinwoo smiled. The research center doesn't know about half of my work. Some of my ideas are too unusual for them. He walked to a large computer and turned it on. The screen lit up, showing complex diagrams of the Frontier spacecraft. This is my real work, Jinwoo said. The official Frontier project is just a small part of what I've been developing. Mina stepped closer to look at the screen. This is much more advanced than what we saw at the Institute. Jinwoo nodded. That's just what I show my bosses. This, he pointed to the screen. This is the real future of human space travel. He pressed a few buttons and a 3D model of a spacecraft appeared. It was sleek and beautiful, unlike the bulky ships humans had built before. The key is the propulsion system, Jinwoo explained. Instead of pushing the ship through space, it creates a bubble of modified space-time around the vessel. Inside the bubble, the ship isn't actually moving at all. The space itself moves. Dae-hyun looked amazed. That's similar to how our ships work, but your method seems more efficient. Jinwoo turned to him with excitement in his eyes. Really? How do your ships travel between stars? Mina gave Dae-hyun a warning look, but decided they needed to share some information if they wanted Jinwoo's help. Our ships use a quantum fold mechanism, she explained. We bend space in front of the ship and then fold it, creating a shortcut between 2 points. Jinwoo's eyes widened. Fascinating, but that must require enormous energy. It does, Sunmi said. That's why our quantum stabilizer is so important. Without it, the fold collapses. Jinwoo thought for a moment. Show me the schematics of your stabilizer again. Sunmi placed her device on the table, and the holographic image of their damaged component appeared again. Jinwoo studied it carefully, then walked to a cabinet and pulled out a small metal box. He opened it to reveal a shiny device about the size of his hand. "This is a prototype I've been working on," he said. "It's designed to maintain the integrity of the space-time bubble. I think it works on similar principles to your stabilizer." Daehyun picked up the device and examined it. "The basic structure is compatible with our systems. With some modifications, this might work." Jinwoo sat down at his computer. "Let's make those modifications. But first, I want to understand more about your ship and how it works." For the next few hours, they talked about space travel, quantum physics, and the different approaches their civilizations had taken. Jinwoo asked countless questions, absorbing everything they told him with amazing speed. "Your people have been traveling between stars for centuries," Jinwoo said, "but your method seems inefficient compared to what I've designed." "That's impossible," Mina said. "You haven't even built a working prototype yet." "True," Jinwoo admitted, "but the math is solid. My design requires only a fraction of the energy your system uses." He showed them some calculations on his computer. "See for yourself." Daehyun checked the numbers and looked at Mina with surprise. "He's right. His approach is much more efficient. The energy requirements are less than half of what our ships need." Mina couldn't believe it. "How is this possible? We've been traveling the stars for generations. How could a species that hasn't even left their own solar system develop a better method?" Jinwoo smiled. "Sometimes, fresh eyes see what others miss. You've been using the same basic technology for a long time, right? Improving it little by little?" Mina nodded. "That's the problem," Jinwoo said. "You've been stuck in one way of thinking. I started from scratch, with no preconceptions about how it should work." Sunmi looked thoughtful. "He has a point, Mina. Our propulsion technology hasn't changed much in the last 100 years. We've just made it more efficient." Jinwoo turned back to the prototype device. "Now let's adapt this to work with your systems." They worked through the night. Jinwoo was tireless, moving from computer to workbench and back again. He made adjustments to the device, tested it, then made more changes. By morning, they had a modified version of Jinwoo's prototype that should work with the Seolian systems. "I think it's ready," Jinwoo said, placing the device carefully in a case. "But I need to see your ship to make the final connections." Mina hesitated. "Taking you to our ship, that's a big step. I need to consult with my captain first." "Understand," Jinwoo said. "But I've shared my life's work with you. I think a little trust in return is fair." Mina knew he was right. She activated her communication device. "Captain Jiho, this is Commander Mina." "Mina, where have you been?" Jiho's voice came through clearly. "It's been nearly a day since your last report." "I'm sorry, sir. We've been working on a solution to our problem. We've found someone who can help us repair the quantum stabilizer." "A local? You revealed ourselves to a local?" Jiho sounded angry. "Yes, sir. But he's not just any local. He's a scientist who has been developing a propulsion system that might be better than ours." There was silence for a moment. "Better than ours?" "That's hard to believe." "I know, sir, but Daehyun has checked his work. The math is solid. His approach could revolutionize our own space travel." Another pause. "What are you suggesting, Commander?" Mina took a deep breath. "I'm suggesting we bring him to the ship to complete the repairs. And I think we should consider a knowledge exchange." "That's against protocol," Jiho said, but Mina could tell he was considering it. "Sir, this could be one of the most important first contacts we've ever made. These humans are more advanced than we thought, and Dr. Han's work could be valuable to our people." "Very well," Jiho said finally. "Bring him to the ship, but be careful. If this goes wrong, it's on your head, Commander." "Thank you, sir. We'll return tonight." Mina turned to Jinwoo, who had been waiting patiently. "My captain has agreed to let you come to our ship." Jinwoo's face lit up with excitement. "Thank you. I can't believe I'm going to see an actual spacecraft from another world." As they prepared to leave, Sunmi looked worried. What about the High Council? They won't be happy about this. We'll deal with the council later, Mina said. Right now, we need to get our ship repaired, and if Jinwoo's propulsion system is as good as it seems, the council might be very interested indeed. That evening, they took Jinwoo to the hidden shuttle in the forest. As they flew up toward the waiting celestial voyager, Jinwoo stared out the window, watching his world get smaller below them. It's beautiful, he whispered. I've dreamed of this moment all my life. Mina watched him with a new respect. This human, with his brilliant mind and fresh ideas, might change not just their mission, but the future of both their peoples. And as the shuttle docked with the main ship, she wondered what Captain Jiho would make of Dr. Jinwoo Han, the human, who might just have outsmarted the Seolion's best engineers. The shuttle docked smoothly with the celestial voyager. Jinwoo felt a small bump, then heard the sound of doors opening. His heart beat fast with excitement. He was about to step onto a ship from another world. Mina stood up. Welcome to the celestial voyager, Dr. Han. Please follow me. Jinwoo followed her through the doorway. The inside of the ship was clean and bright. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. The air smelled fresh with a hint of something sweet he couldn't identify. This is amazing, Jinwoo said, looking around with wide eyes. Your technology is beautiful. This way, Mina said, leading him down a hallway. Captain Jiho is waiting for us in the command center. They walked through several doors until they reached a large room filled with screens and control panels. In the center stood a tall man with a serious face. He wore a dark blue uniform with silver markings. Captain Jiho, Mina said. This is Dr. Jinwoo Han. Jiho looked at Jinwoo with careful eyes. So you are the human who knows about our quantum stabilizer? Jinwoo bowed slightly. It's an honor to meet you, Captain. Your ship is incredible. Jiho did not smile. Commander Mina tells me you might be able to repair our stabilizer. Yes, I believe so, Jinwoo replied. I've brought a prototype device that should work with your systems after some modifications. Jiho turned to another crew member. This is Taeyang, our science officer. He will help you with the repairs. Taeyang stepped forward. He was younger than Jiho, with curious eyes. Dr. Han, can I see this device? Jinwoo opened the case he had brought and showed them the prototype. Taeyang picked it up carefully and examined it. Interesting design, he said. Very different from ours, but the basic principles are similar. Can it be adapted to our systems? Jiho asked. Taeyang nodded. I believe so. With Dr. Han's help, we should be able to make it work. Good, Jiho said. Take him to the engine room and begin work immediately. The sooner we can leave orbit, the better. Taeyang led Jinwoo out of the command center. As they walked, Jinwoo asked many questions about the ship. How many crew members do you have? 23, Taeyang replied. This is a small survey, vessel, not a large exploration ship. And how fast can it travel? We can cross 10 light years in about 12 days. Jinwoo's eyes widened. That's impressive, but with my propulsion system, you could do it in less than half that time. Taeyang looked at him with surprise. That's hard to believe. Our engineers have been improving this technology for generations. Sometimes a fresh approach is needed, Jinwoo said simply. They reached the engine room, a large space filled with machinery Jinwoo had never seen before. In the center was a glowing blue core. That's the main drive, Taeyang explained. And over here is where the quantum stabilizer should be. He pointed to an empty space in a control panel. Wires hung loose where the damaged component had been removed. I see, Jinwoo said, looking closely at the connections. I'll need to adjust my prototype to fit these interfaces. For the next several hours, Jinwoo and Taeyang worked together to modify the prototype. Jinwoo was amazed at how quickly Taeyang understood his ideas. They spoke different technical languages but shared the same basic understanding of physics. As they worked, more crew members came to watch. They were curious about the human who was helping repair their ship. Jinwoo answered their questions politely while continuing to work on the device. Finally, it was ready. The modified prototype now fit perfectly into the space where the original stabilizer had been. "I think it will work," Tae-Yang said, checking the connections one last time. "But there's only one way to find out." He pressed a button on a nearby panel. "Captain, we're ready to test the new stabilizer." "Proceed," Jiho's voice came through a speaker. Tae-Yang pressed another button, and the modified prototype began to glow. Lights on the control panel turned green one by one. "It's working," Tae-Yang said with excitement. "All systems are stable. The quantum field is forming correctly." Jinwoo smiled. His device was working with alien technology from another star system. It was the proudest moment of his life. "Captain," Tae-Yang called. "The stabilizer is functioning at 100% capacity. We can restart the main drive whenever you're ready." "Well done," Jiho replied. "Both of you come to the command center immediately." When they arrived, they found Jiho talking with several crew members. He turned as they entered. "Dr. Han, it seems your device has saved our mission," he said. "You have our thanks." Jinwoo nodded. "I'm glad I could help." "But there's something else Commander Mina has told me," Jiho continued. "She says you've developed a propulsion system that might be more efficient than ours." "Yes," Jinwoo said. "My design creates a different kind of space-time bubble around the ship. It requires less energy and allows for faster travel." Jiho looked skeptical. "That's a bold claim." "I can prove it," Jinwoo said. He pulled out a small device from his pocket and projected a hologram showing his designs and calculations. Jiho and Tae-Yang studied the hologram carefully. Tae-Yang's eyes grew wider as he read through the equations. "Captain," he said finally, "his math is correct. This approach would be at least twice as efficient as our current system." Jiho looked at Jinwoo with new respect. "It seems we have underestimated your species, Dr. Han. Many people on Earth would be surprised by my work too," Jinwoo said, with a small smile. "I'm a bit ahead of my time." Jiho thought for a moment, then made a decision. "I need to contact the Seolian High Council. This situation is unprecedented." He turned to Mina. "Take Dr. Han to the guest quarters. Make him comfortable while I speak with the council." As Mina led him away, Jinwoo asked, "What happens now?" "I'm not sure," she replied honestly. "This is new territory for us. We've never encountered a species with technology that might surpass our own in some areas." In the guest quarters, Jinwoo sat on a comfortable chair that adjusted to his body. Mina brought him some food and drink from Earth that they had collected. "How long will the captain's talk with the council take?" Jinwoo asked. "It could be several hours," Mina said. "The council members are on different worlds." Jinwoo nodded. "While we wait, can you tell me more about your people? Where do you come from?" Mina smiled. "We come from a planet called Seolia, orbiting a star you call Tauseri. It's about 12 light years from here." "That's amazing," Jinwoo said. "And how many worlds have your people settled?" 7 major colonies on different planets, plus smaller outposts on about 20 others. Jinwoo tried to imagine it. Humans spreading to other stars, building homes on distant worlds. It was everything he had dreamed of since he was a child. Hours later, Jiho called them back to the command center. His face was serious but calm. "Dr. Han, I have spoken with the High Council. They were surprised by what I told them about you and your technology." Jinwoo waited nervously. "After much discussion, they have authorized me to make you an offer," Jiho continued. "We propose a formal exchange. Your propulsion system designs for our help in launching humanity's first true interstellar vessel." Jinwoo could hardly believe what he was hearing. "You would help us build a starship?" Jiho nodded. "With certain limitations, yes. We would provide technical assistance and some materials. In return, we would adapt your propulsion system for our own ships." Jinwoo thought about what this would mean for humanity. A real starship capable of reaching other solar systems. It would change everything. "I accept," he said without hesitation. Jiho extended his hand in the human way of sealing agreements. Jinwoo shook it firmly. "Then it seems," Jiho said with a small smile, "that both our peoples will benefit from this chance meeting." What neither of them knew then was just how much this agreement would change the future of both their civilizations. The Star 6 months passed quickly. The agreement between Jinwu and the Seolian changed everything. A small team of Seolian engineers remained on Earth, working in secret with Jinwu to build humanity's first true interstellar ship. At the HFY same time, the Celestial Voyager underwent a complete overhaul, with Jinwu's revolutionary propulsion system being installed. Today was the day both projects would be completed. Jinwu stood in the control room of a hidden facility in the mountains. Around him, human and Seolian engineers worked side by side, checking systems and running final tests. "All systems are green," said a young human engineer named Min. "The Frontier is ready for its first test flight." Jinwu nodded with pride. The Frontier was beautiful, sleek and silver, built with a combination of human and Seolian technology. It wasn't large, designed to carry only 6 people, but it could travel faster than any ship humans had ever built. "Dr. Han," a voice called. Jinwu turned to see Captain Ji-ho entering the control room. Over the past months, the stern captain had become a friend. "Captain, I thought you would be on the Celestial Voyager preparing for your own departure." Ji-ho smiled. "I wanted to see the Frontier completed before we leave. It's an historic achievement for both our peoples." Jinwu led Ji-ho to a large window overlooking the hangar where the Frontier waited. "There she is, humanity's first starship." Ji-ho studied the ship with approving eyes. "You've done remarkable work. The High Council is very impressed with how quickly your team adapted our technology." "And how is the Celestial Voyager?" Jinwu asked. "Is my propulsion system working well?" "Better than well," Ji-ho replied. "The modifications are complete, and all tests show that we can now travel 3 times faster than before. Your design has exceeded all expectations." Jinwu felt a surge of pride. His life's work had not only helped humanity reach for the stars, but had also improved the technology of a civilization that had been traveling between stars for centuries. "There's something else I came to tell you," Ji-ho said. "The High Council has made a decision. They want to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth." Jinwu's eyes widened. "Really? I thought they wanted to keep your presence secret for now." "That was the original plan," Ji-ho agreed. "But your cooperation has changed their minds. They believe that humanity is ready for first contact, or at least a small step toward it." "What exactly are they proposing?" "For now, limited contact, through official channels only. And..." Ji-ho paused. "They have requested that you come with us as Earth's first ambassador to the Seolian homeworld." Jinwu stared at him in shock. "Me? An ambassador? Who better? You already understand our technology and have worked with our people. The Council believes you would be the perfect representative for your species." Jinwu's mind raced. Leave Earth? Travel to another star system? It was beyond his wildest dreams. I would be honored," he said finally. Ji-ho nodded. "Excellent. We depart tomorrow. The Celestial Voyager will take you to Seolia. Later, the Frontier can follow when your people are ready for the journey." The next day, Jinwu stood at the boarding ramp of the Celestial Voyager. He carried only a small bag with personal items. Everything else he would need would be provided on the ship. Mina greeted him at the entrance. "Welcome aboard, Ambassador Han." Jinwu smiled at his new title. "Thank you, Commander. It still feels strange to be called that." "You'll get used to it," she said, leading him inside. "Your quarters have been prepared. We've tried to make them comfortable for a human." Jinwu followed her through the familiar corridors of the ship. When they reached his quarters, he was surprised to find them much larger than the guest room he had stayed in before. "These are captain's level quarters," Mina explained. "Fitting for an ambassador." Jinwu placed his bag on a table. "When do we depart?" "In 1 hour. Captain Ji-ho would like you on the bridge for the departure. Your propulsion system will be activated for the first time in actual space travel." An hour later, Jinwu stood on the bridge beside Captain Ji-ho. The main screen showed Earth below them, beautiful and blue. It looks so peaceful from up here, Jinwoo said softly. Jiho nodded. All worlds do from space. Are you ready to leave it behind? Yes, Jinwoo said, though he felt a small pang of sadness. I've dreamed of the stars all my life. Now I get to see them up close. Jiho turned to his crew. Prepare for departure. Activate the new propulsion system. Tae-yang worked at his control panel. Space-time bubble forming, stable, ready for transition. Ambassador Han, Jiho said formally. Would you like to give the command? Jinwoo felt honored. Thank you, Captain. He took a deep breath and said clearly, Engage. The stars on the screen seemed to stretch and blur. There was a moment of strange pressure. Then everything settled. When the screen cleared, Earth and its sun were gone, replaced by unfamiliar stars. Transition complete, Tae-yang reported, his voice filled with excitement. We've traveled 15 light years in less than 3 minutes. Efficiency rating is 400% higher than our previous system. The bridge crew broke into cheers and applause. Jinwoo stood in amazement, trying to process what had just happened. They had just traveled 15 light years, a distance that would take light itself 15 years to cross, in less than 3 minutes. Jiho turned to Jinwoo with a rare, broad smile. It seems we came to Earth seeking simple repairs and left with a ship beyond our wildest dreams. And humanity has gained the stars in return, Jinwoo replied. Over the next few hours, the celestial voyager continued its journey to the Seolian homeworld. Jinwoo spent most of his time on the observation deck watching the unfamiliar stars. Mina joined him there. Do you miss Earth already? She asked. A little, he admitted. But I've always wanted to explore the universe. I just never imagined it would happen like this. Mina looked out at the stars. Our people came to your world thinking we were the advanced ones, she said thoughtfully. We never expected to find a species that would teach us so much. That's the beauty of the universe, Jinwoo said. No matter how much we know, there's always something new to learn. Different paths, different ideas. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the stars pass by. 3 days later, they reached Seolea. Jinwoo stood on the bridge again as the planet came into view on the main screen. It was larger than Earth, with deep blue oceans and green-gold continents. 2 small moons orbited it. My home, Jiho said with pride, and now, the first world beyond your solar system that a human has ever visited. As the celestial voyager moved into orbit, Jinwoo saw other ships, some much larger, and orbital stations circling the planet. The High Council is waiting to meet you, Jiho told him. They're quite curious about the human who improved Seolian technology. Jinwoo felt nervous but excited. I hope I can represent Earth well. You already have, Jiho assured him. This is just the beginning of a new chapter for both our worlds. As Jinwoo prepared to travel down to the surface of an alien world, he thought about the strange chain of events that had brought him here. A damaged ship, a chance discovery, and now a new partnership between 2 civilizations from different stars. The celestial voyager had come to Earth seeking repairs and left with a revolutionary new propulsion system, and humanity, represented by one man who had always dreamed of the stars, had gained its first stepping stone to a vast and waiting universe. Behind them, on Earth, the frontier waited, ready for its first journey between the stars. Soon, it would follow, bringing more humans to meet their new allies. And after that, who knew what wonders awaited both species among the countless stars? This was just the beginning. The end.